Gentlemen, thank you for being with us on this first 10 News at 5. We do appreciate it. Of course, the topic of the day, gas prices. How, and this question for both of you, how has this spiked? How is it impacting city and county government? Mayor, we'll begin with you.
You know, we actually were fortunate at the city. We buy in bulk loads, and so I checked on Friday when obviously product was getting short, and we had at that point about a 20-day supply of fuel. So we should be in good shape. It shouldn't affect our budget. Also, because I think this is a fairly short-term spike of, like I said, I think it'll be corrected in 2 or 3 days. I don't anticipate it impacting the city. We are prepared to tell people to limit their discretionary use of fuel.
Okay, Mayor Ragsdale.
Well, the same thing. We have our own gas that we use primarily, although sometimes when our sheriff's deputies are out on the road, obviously they have to fill up while they're there, and that could cause a little bit of budget consternation. But we think it's going to be short-lived, and also we hope it drops very quickly as well.
I think we're all hoping it's short-lived at this point, for sure.
Yeah. And Mayor Ragsdale, let's switch to politics a little bit. It's been a tumultuous 18 months, certainly. Looking ahead with your new commission that you're working with in budget questions that you face, we're certainly seeing some more shortfalls in our future. How do you work with commission and focus on getting a budget that is not everyone can agree on, but certainly you can come to a good consensus on?
Well, I think our budget was passed by a 16-3 vote. In this era of politics, that's really good consensus, so I was pleased with that. When you look at how the tax revenues are coming in the urban areas of our state compared to the rural areas, the urbans are doing better. The rural and suburban areas, well, particularly the rural areas, aren't doing quite as well, and we hope that picks up because it's good for our entire state economy. But right now we appear to be in good shape. The final numbers are in from last year. They were better than we had anticipated early on, so we think we've got a good budget in place. We've got an outstanding new school superintendent who is a former budget director himself, and that's the largest part of the Knox County budget going to school, so I think that bodes very well for our future.
So you don't foresee any tax increases, no need for that, and how about more borrowing? Do you think that's something in the future?
Well, there were a lot of loud noises about borrowing, but when you look at our bond rating, we're exactly where we need to be with that, so I don't see a lot of borrowing. In terms of tax increases, I don't think that's on the horizon either, unless it was something that was citizens' initiative and something citizen-driven.
Mayor Haslam, a key focus for you, of course, has been the South Knoxville waterfront. Is this on pace as it stands, and are there any hurdles in the future?
It's a great question. We really there are subject to the market, and so it's nobody's great surprise the real estate market slowed down due to credit issues and people worried about selling their own homes. So I'd say it's a little slower, just to be frank, than we would like it to be. There's still a couple of projects in the works and moving ahead, but you can't kid yourself. We're subject to the market just like everybody else is. So I think demand is holding steady, but it's not quite as fervent as it was. Given
that, when do you expect to see some of these things, as you were talking about, that are on track? When could we see them come to fruition?
Well, we're one condominium project's getting ready to open here in the next month or so. They're in the final stages, and then the next one we're hoping to have a groundbreaking sometime after the first of the year, and that would include a new road that's going to come through there and all. So again, I'm not discouraged by it at all, but you also have to be realistic. We live in a market economy, and we're subject to that too. So.
And as we wrap up here, mayors, what are your top priorities moving forward in the next 6 months? One or two top priorities.
Number one is to work with our new school superintendent and our board and commission to take a really good school system, move it to a great school system as one. I think we have to pay particular attention to our economy and make certain that we're doing a good job in hanging on to the businesses that we've already have here and trying to help them expand as well as recruit new business. And thirdly, I think as an ongoing concern as the population ages, you have to have programs in place for your seniors and your veterans to have a really special community, and that's where I want us to be.
Yeah, our strategy for this year has been to take the strength of downtown, the strength of the heart, and start expanding it to near north, south waterfront, the Fort Sanders, Cumberland area, and east along Magnolia. That's a real focus. Again, we have to work within the market demand there, but we're seeing real headway as the strength of the heart expands outward, and obviously always it's about budget management and making certain you can deliver services at a good price.
Mayors, thank you both for kicking off our Newsmaker segments.
We're glad to be here. I think it will be helpful for the whole community to have a chance to have a discussion instead of a soundbite.
We certainly hope so.
We agree. All right, thanks so much, gentlemen.